All right, y'all. I appreciate y'all watching these videos, man. So apparently, LeBron James called out Adam Silver for the issues that are going on with the NBA. Jason Whitlock covered it, man. Shout out to Whitlock, man. We finna let him talk about it real quick, and then I'm gonna go ahead and chime in. Make sure you like, comment, and subscribe at the door, man. Appreciate the love and help me get to 2,000 subs. We with it.
We'll play LeBron James acknowledging that there's a problem in the NBA. Let's watch LeBron James.
Got to do something. Obviously, the last couple of years have not been a great All-Star game that Sunday night.
That's crazy. Last couple years haven't been a good All-Star game. Haven't you been a part of the All-Star game, my boy? Haven't you? I mean, am I tripping, or is it your All-Star game? Aren't you the captain on like almost every All-Star game format that they have? I mean, I don't watch the All-Star game, bro. I stopped watching the All-Star game since, like, honestly, before Kobe retired. And then the last All-Star game I can tell you guys I actually watched from beginning to end was the one when Kobe Bryant retired and they did a tribute for him. And I actually enjoyed that one because it did really seem like the players cared. It wasn't perfect, but it was a good game because they gave it their all. And then the year after, they do the same format, and it was basically ass water. I mean, you know your All-Star game is messed up when the former president, has to call you out on it. Know what I'm saying? But these players don't give a damn. And that's the sad part about it. They just don't care. Like, they don't care about competition. They don't care about making their league look good. They don't care about improving the league because they've already been guaranteed their survival. They've been already guaranteed their bread. These dudes signed 5-year, $300 million deals. And unfortunately, like I told you guys before, dude, like most NBA players, I mean, we know they're pampered. We know that they never lived a normal life. You feel me? And, you know, I'm not saying that as if it's a bad thing. It's just the truth of the matters. The truth is these NBA players do not give a damn about anything but themselves. And they've been told that ever since LeBron created the player empowerment era. Ever since he created the era where it empowered the players to have as much, if not, let's be honest, more power than the actual owners themselves, and basically allowed the owners to kowtow and bend to the rules of such whimsical creatures. That ever since LeBron James created that, the league was set for its demise. And to be honest, I don't even know if there's even a way out of this. Like, at this point, it's so deep in. Is there even anything Adam Silver could possibly do?
But I mean, listen, it's a bigger conversation. It's not just the All-Star game. It's our game in general. Our game it's a lot of threes being shot.
Mm-hmm. Yeah, mainly by you, LeBron. You just played the Kings last night and you went 1 for 9 from 3. With that stupid smirk on his face. See, what pisses me off about LeBron is just like he's talking right now as if he isn't the problem. It's a lot of threes being shot. You're one of the ones shooting the threes, bro. That's why you go into this lying face. Like, he has this little lying smirk that he has, bro. And that type of shit just pisses me off, man. I be watching LeBron and it's like, bro, you're an even worse problem than Adam Silver. You most likely have to notice. And if you don't notice, then you're just so oblivious and so obnoxious and so unhumbled that you can't even smell your own roses and see that they smell like crap. And it's annoying, bro. His fans sit here and twerk it up for him, turn it up for him, defend him everywhere they go, no matter what he does, no matter how bad he leaves them. Doesn't matter. It's LeBron. It's their daddy. They don't care. But he can literally come out and say, yes, too many threes being shot. And then the next night, after saying this, by the way, like he said this before. This is a couple days ago. Comes out and shoots 1 for 9 from 3 against the Kings. Are we serious right now? Why are you even shooting 9 threes in a game? LeBron, you're not a 3-point shooter. I don't know if anybody's ever told you this, but you're not that guy. Same thing for Russell Westbrook. Somebody had to eventually humble him, but you'll just never get your humbling or your comeuppance.
So it's a bigger conversation, just the All-Star game.
You can't blame that on Charles Barkley and Shaquille O'Neal. That's the face of the NBA acknowledging the facts. Hey man, this game isn't as compelling. People standing around the three-point line, jacking up three-pointers, it's not as compelling.
I made over 6 figures trading without even looking at the charts, without spending hours glued to the screen.
That's LeBron James. In a rare moment of transparency and honesty, hats off to LeBron James. I don't want to disparage or add any snark to that. Hats off to
Hats off for what? Hats off for what? For stating the obvious? He didn't come up with any solutions. He's playing in the All-Star game. Crazy part is, let's be honest, y'all. LeBron James is not an All-Star this year. He has a piss poor performance. I think he has the worst plus minus in the league. Personally, defensively, he's a no-show. Offensively, he has some of the worst nights you've ever seen. Horrible player right now. But if you go log in right now to NBA 2K, if you go play the game, he's still a 96. Still a 96 no matter how bad he's been playing. And mind you, we're like, 30 games? We're like 30%, maybe 40% into the season already, bro. And he's still a 96 on 2K. He's still going to be named an All-Star, no matter how trash he's playing. Now, in the past, there's been like honorary All-Stars. Like, I think Dirk Nowitzki in his retirement year got that. But LeBron hasn't announced he's retiring this year. Has he? Did somebody come out and say LeBron's retiring? I think they gave it to Kobe too once, like when he announced his retirement. But is LeBron retiring? Did he come out? No. He's still going to be playing? Yeah, so he's just going to be taking an All-Star appearance from somebody else who needs it, therefore fucking up their paycheck. Messing up their paycheck for his own benefit. Right? It's for his own stat line, his own glory. That's what the league, I guarantee you, is going to do. For a guy who is definitely not an All-Star. Not that it matters to me, because the All-Star game is a joke, but it still goes out in the record books as multiple such and such All-Star appearances, in your tenure in the league, right? So this is still going to make LeBron look good, even though there's corruption all over it. And that be the biggest problem with LeBron. I want LeBron James fans to understand the reason why it's so hard to give LeBron credit, the reason why it's hard to watch LeBron is because almost every step he takes, there's corruption following him on almost every single situation from top to bottom. If LeBron James was just a basic player who was giving you 15 points, playing a little playing some defense, just not good at it, a hustle hard player, nobody would sit here and crucify this man. We crucify him because he plays in a way that doesn't benefit his team. He does it purposefully. He manipulates the game. He manipulates the stat sheets. He manipulates history for his own benefits. It's not because, LeBron just isn't that good. He's not that good. He's actually a horrible player disguised as the greatest of all time to you sycophants out there. So if it was the other way around, nobody, when you guys like to hit my comment section and talk about haters, nobody would be throwing hate at this dude. If it was the other way around, nobody would be sitting here and throw shade at him. Why? There's plenty of whatever players in the league. No, LeBron is basically a sheep masquerading as a wolf. He's not a wolf whatsoever. He don't got that dog in him whatsoever. But yet, he can manipulate the game to make it appear as. But then when you sit down for 5 seconds and you get off 2K, like I said, get off 2K, stop paying attention to the fact that his stats are high. And if you play my team, he got all these my trend cards that make him a 99 overall, which ain't really true. So if you really get off and you just watch him personally, he's really not nothing to be in awe of. His game is rather boring and whack. Dribble, dribble, dribble. Sometimes he dunks, sometimes he lays up, and then he shoots a lot of threes that clank off the side of the rim on a daily basis. He gets out of the game when it matters. He comes into the game when it doesn't matter. He walks to the free throw line a million times. I was just watching the Kings game last night, bro. Why the hell was they calling so many fouls for the Lakers in the fourth quarter? I mean, I saw Cam Reddish get like 2 fouls that made me scratch my head. I had to go back and replay it. I was at my pops' house, so thankfully, the DVR was on. I had to go replay them, and I'm like, bro, when did Cam Reddish get fouled? He stole the ball, and I was like, kudos for Cam Reddish. He drives, he makes a layup, somebody attempts to block it. They don't even touch him. They attempt to try to block it. He makes the layup. They call it and one. And then like a couple plays later, he got another foul call when nobody was around him. And it was on DeMar DeRozan, if I remember. If I remember correctly, it was on DeMar DeRozan. I'm like, you guys are calling fouls for Cam Reddish when DeMar DeRozan, for one, so it's not even like, oh, he's a star player type of bias. It's more of a, and I'm not saying DeMar is a star currently, but he was, but it's more of a make the Lakers win. And the Lakers got at least 6 foul calls within like a 2-minute period of game time versus the Kings, I think, getting 1. I don't even think they got a foul now that I think about it. But I'm sitting there watching this game and I'm like, bro, how are the Lakers getting all these fouls and still only up by 1, 2, or 3 points in the game? Walking to the free throw line. The corruption has to stop. It has to. It's not even benefiting them. The Lakers, like you guys should know by now, shot like 1,200 more free throws than any other team in the NBA over the last 2 season period. And somehow was a 7th seed both years. And then the 10th seed all year long last year until like the last game they suddenly bumped up to a 7. It's not even benefiting them. So basically you're telling me if they weren't getting all these free throws, they'd be getting blown out by 20 every night? If the stat line didn't say 39 free throws for the Lakers, 14 for the other team? Ridiculous shit like that. Last night I think it was 21-14. The differential on free throws. For what? AD's flopping all over the place like a fish. LeBron's bitching and moaning to the refs all day long, complaining about fouls. And for you people who go, because I was actually explaining, because like I told you guys, my family's Laker fans. So I'm just explaining it to my dad. I'm explaining it to my little brother, and I'm just like, look, man, I just didn't see this when Kobe was was a Laker. When Kobe was a Laker, I did not see this much of a manipulation of the game to get him to win on a daily basis. Some people, when you normally watch a sport, if they call something for your team, you're going to celebrate. Oh, yeah, it's a foul. Like, it might not even be a foul, but you like, I'll take it. And if that's your mindset, like, I'm not here to disparage you or say you're wrong personally. Because, shoot, it could be the Chiefs, and you're a Chiefs fan, and they get that lucky call that basically gives them the Super Bowl, which pisses everybody else off, and you're going to love it. But when it happens all the time, if it was a foul here or there, questionable, that would be one thing. And I wouldn't really pay mind to that. But if you're getting 15 of those per game, bro, at some point, even if you're the biggest Laker fan, LeBron fan, whoever fan, Jordan fan, you got to stop for a second and go, wait, This is just sick. This is disgusting. This isn't y'all like helping a brother out. This is you guys straight up manipulating and disrespecting the entire sport of basketball to benefit one person. And it's really not even benefiting them that much. It's quick illusions. It's cheap tricks. 21 to 14 free throws. I think when we played the Raptors, it was like 38 free throws we got. Like that type of stuff to me disrespects the game on such a high level to the point where you have to pause if you do care about not only just your favorite player or your favorite team, but the entire sport of basketball. If they were doing that for anybody else, I would have the same issue. People were complaining about James Harden for years. And he was just straight up flopping. LeBron do too. But he was straight up flopping. And it was a complaint. And you saw it never turned into championships. And for the most part, it doesn't for LeBron James either.
LeBron James for acknowledging what's obvious. The game has changed and not in a real productive way. It's a three-point shooting contest. And there's no diversity in style or play. But
I know a lot of people like to blame Steph Curry for that, but I necessarily don't, because at the end of the day, Steph Curry is a transcendent talent. You get a couple of those every generation. You know what I'm saying? This generation, it might be Victor Wembanyama and Giannis, who I don't even know if you can count them in the same generation, but it might be Cooper Flag. Who knows? You can't really. Oh, and honestly, the best two I could think of, because I can't even say Anthony Edwards like that. But anyway, honestly, it's like I can't say that that's Steph Curry's fault. I just think that when you watch the game of basketball, when you watch what the Rockets did, when you watch what people who don't necessarily, the people who own the teams and coach the teams and run the team, and they don't necessarily have the pieces to do what Steph Curry does, but yet they try to force it in. They're trying to force their team to play a style play that they're not built to play. I think that's what really messes up the game. But none of that even matters if the players weren't so empowered. If the players weren't empowered as much as they are, you would get a better brand of basketball. If the players actually had a goal to work for, you would get a better brand of basketball. And let me explain that to you guys. These dudes, right, they're guaranteed all their money. They're basically guaranteed everything. They're one of the only sports that are actually guaranteed as much. But when you look at them as a whole, when you look at what's been going on in the league, the rule changes Adam Silver has made, all these changes that basically make it to where no team can have an unfair advantage, actually has a side effect as well. Because it basically lowers the amount of talent one specific team can have on their organization, unless you do get lucky like the Warriors and draft all the right pieces at all the right time. That rarely happens. There's teams who draft a lot of talent, and then some of the talent don't fit, so they don't win. You can't free agent your way out of it. But if we're being honest, that really wasn't a thing until LeBron made it a thing. So now you got a team like the Boston Celtics, right, who on paper, honestly, are just overly stacked. And then people like to act like the West is loaded. But to me, they're not loaded. They're more dumbed down. The West is so dumbed down that basically every team looks like they could possibly have a chance. But that's not even the truth. That's not even a reality. They don't actually all have a chance. They just look like it because on paper, all the teams are kind of similar. But when you really look at all of these teams and what it really takes to win a championship in the league, most of these teams don't really have a chance, bro. They just look good. But I think it's going to prove to be detrimental the fact that Adam Silver decided that he was going to go ahead and take and put a hard cap on what you can make and what trades you can get done in the league. Look at the Denver Nuggets, man. They look primed to, create their own dynasty. They had to get rid of pieces. Bruce Brown had to go. They lost KCP. You feel me? That's not good. You need your role players, bro. You really do. And what makes it worse is they've brainwashed the players to take as much money as possible, to the point where none of the players are ever really going to take championships serious. And that's basically what they knew they were going to do. They killed championships. You know how they kill championships? Because most teams not named the Lakers, when they won a championship, their best player took a pay cut. Look at Tim Duncan in the San Antonio Spurs, for example. Most of the times you have to take a pay cut in order to make room for the next guy so that you can have a chance at winning. A chance. And there's nothing wrong with that. You care about winning, you're willing to do whatever it takes. That gives you guys as a team an advantage when you take less money. Nobody's ever going to do that anymore. These contracts are too big. Oh, 300. Look at Jaylen Brown, bro. He just took $300 million. And his team is loaded, don't get me wrong, but he took $300 million, bro. $300 million. You think when Luka and who might have already got the extension, you think he's saying no? The only person who did it was Jalen Brunson, but Jalen Brunson's not that guy. He's not a top 5 player. So if Giannis, Jokic, and Embiid, right, who honestly keeps fumbling his own bag, Steph Curry. Oh, and speaking of Steph Curry, but basically if they all take a pay cut, they'll have a chance at winning championship. But speaking of Steph Curry, in order to make that work for the team that he had to take a pay cut. You get what I'm saying? But these players have been brainwashed to believe that taking a pay cut is bad for you and it makes you look weak because you're giving ownership more power over you. They look at ownership like this is some type of plantation. You can't let them come up on you. And it's so crazy because LeBron was the biggest one preaching that when he took the damn pay cut when he went to Miami to win. Crazy.
But here's J.J. Redick, LeBron's coach, an analytics guy, a guy who's struggling a bit as a head coach, but he kind of, and he says a lot here, his explanation of what's going on with NBA ratings, but at one point, he does take some shots at the inside the NBA crew. Let's play J.J. Redick.
There's a lot of probably whys. I would speculate some of it is streaming. Some of it is the fact that in my own household, we have YouTube TV and that we don't have Spectrum right now. We have Spectrum Wi-Fi, but not Spectrum cable. And my family can't watch Lakers games that aren't nationally televised. I do have a free account from Spectrum. I'm just too lazy to set it up. Be clear on that. Spectrum has been very good to me.
You probably send somebody out there.
Yeah, but my point to that is, in my own household, I have 9 or 10 subscriptions. I lose my password to all of these. I think with the death of cable, people unplugging and then relying on streaming networks, I think it's not easy to watch an NBA game, to find an NBA game. I think that's part of it. Maybe that's a small percentage of it, but that's certainly a factor in all of this. I don't think we as, and by we, I was part of it, we as the sort of national partners have done a good job of storytelling, of celebrating the game. If I'm a casual fan and you tell me every time I turn on the television that the product sucks, well, I'm not gonna watch the product. And that's really what has happened. over the last 10 to 15 years. I don't know why. It's not funny to me. Nothing is entertaining to me.
That's not what happened. Come on, bro. What are you talking about? Nobody's been sitting there hating on y'all for 15 years. There's people who've criticized LeBron, rightfully so, but nobody's been sitting here hating on y'all or any organization for 15 years. These teams play, and honestly, the last 15 years means 2009 plus. The ratings were phenomenal. When Kobe was winning against the Celtics, they were pretty good with the Miami Heat era, and then they skyrocketed towards the Golden State Warrior era. When Steph Curry became a dynasty, that was when the ratings almost went back to damn Jordan levels. You guys have just had the wrong leader for the last 15 years. That's the biggest problem. LeBron James has been the leader of the league. He's not the one bringing in the ratings because, to be honest with you, nobody views him as a GOAT. And honestly, nowadays, a lot of people got Steph Curry higher than LeBron. They got at least more respect for Steph Curry than they do LeBron James. I've honestly never, now that I think about it, never ever have I saw, and you guys tell me, or just send me it in the comment section because I would be very interested in seeing this. But I have never seen a Steph Curry hate channel or a channel basically built off of breaking down Steph Curry and how bad he is for basketball. I hear people give Steph Curry criticism for three-point shooting, but that's always debunked by the fact that he's the greatest shooter of all time. If y'all copying me, that's y'all problem. Y'all can't copy this. Generational talents can't be copied. You cannot copy Wilt Chamberlain. You cannot copy Michael Jordan to a Michael Jordan degree of level. Let's just say that. You cannot copy Steph Curry. You can almost look like him for a day or two, but you ain't Steph. Basically, if you guys know of a Steph Curry hate channel, please put me on. I want to see it so I can laugh because I'm going to be like, you out your damn mind. But with that being said, you don't see those channels. But there's hundreds, plenty of LeBron James hate channels, don't like channels, debunk channels, weak game channels, no defense channels. So many people break down LeBron because he is not him. He is not the guy you guys think he is. And that's just a fact. So the fact that he's had the keys for like the last 15 years is basically the reason why the league's been down. In the 2000s, it was a huge change for everybody. Technology was getting into stuff. But to be honest, you can't even really say it was Kobe's league because it was Shaq in the early 2000s. Then it basically became anybody's league until Kobe, in 2008 formed the Legion. Actually, 2006 and 7 when he scored like 81. Then that's when everybody was like, okay, he's got to be the best player in the league. And then he won his 2 championships. So I can't say all of the 2000s was Kobe, but a lot of times the ratings was down because defense. Too much defense. Way too much defense. Now we don't have any defense at all. With them so-called fixing the problem. But we can say one thing. This has been LeBron's league for the last 15 years, and it has been a disaster. A shit show, to say the least.
This game should be celebrated. I've watched the league evolve. I'm in this league right now. I can tell you without fact, or with fact, that the league is more talented and not just raw talent. The league is more talented and skilled than it was 18 years.
No, it is not more talented and skilled. And JJ Redick is one of the ones who always says this, and it's all cap. Do not listen to the nonsense. Don't pay any attention to this man. So you guys tell me this, and I said this in another video before. Who's the best player since the league is so talented? Was Kevin Durant, Steph Curry, LeBron, Kawhi Leonard. Who else? James Harden. Who else? Giannis and Jokic, right? That's 6 people. So you go ahead and compare those people. He said 18 years ago. That'll be, what, 2005? If I'm tripping. No, 2003. Okay, so right back then. So you had Shaq. You had Michael Jordan. You had Kobe Bryant. You had Tim Duncan. Dirk Nowitzki. If we go back a little bit farther, Karl Malone, but let's stay in the 2000s era. Allen Iverson, Tracy McGrady. Need I go on? You even had LeBron at the time, but need I go on? Which era is better in your opinion? You compare those level of players. Which one do you say is better? Most people are gonna say the 2000s, but even if you wanted to debate it, you can even say it's even. I don't even care. You could pick one or the other. Doesn't matter. But there's not one league that's better than the other. Top heavy, the best of the best from the 2000s and the best of the best from the 2010s. If you want to even it out, you can. I would probably pick the 2000s. Stop with the nonsense, man. I'm tired of people saying that. The best are no better in any other era than any other era. And that's just a fact.
Years ago when I was drafted. That's a fact. There are more players that are excellent. There are more teams that are excellent.
There are more players that are more offensively minded. That's what he means. That doesn't make you more excellent. More players were defensively minded in the 2000s. But which one makes for better basketball is a better question. If you're a star role player on offense versus a star role player on defense, the offensive one looks good, but you don't necessarily need every role player to be a star offensive player. Whatever happened to Tony Allen's? You know what I'm saying? You gonna need a Tony Allen. You need a Ron Artest. So let's not act like I guarantee you right now, if Tony Allen, Ron Artest, and named 600 defensive players, they were in the league today, teams would be bidding, running to get them as quick as possible. Because nobody can play defense that good anymore. So yes, is it better offensively now? You could say that. It's not better defensively though. You basically killed defensive players. Matter of fact, the last one I could really think of on that level outside of Marcus Smart was Andre Roberson when he was on the Thunder. Yeah, bro. Big difference. Big difference.
I heard when I played for, 4 or 5 years, well, why don't we even play the regular season? We know who's going to be in the finals. Well, guess what? We have parity now. And we're not celebrating parity. We're not celebrating the fact that the Western Conference is as loaded as it is. We're playing a Sacramento team tonight that's incredible, with incredible talent, and they've got a losing record. It's not because they're a bad basketball team. I don't know. We don't have anybody that's...
There was plenty of teams like that back in the day too, who just had as much talent and just couldn't make the playoffs or had a losing record, especially in the West. That's been a thing for a long time now. That's not something that's new, JJ Redick. You're bringing this up as if there's never been a Sacramento Kings built team in the West or in any conference that was as good and just didn't make it. Come on.
Willing to step up to the fact that this is an awesome game and we should talk about it and celebrate it in a positive way. That doesn't mean we don't critique it. We should critique it, but we should celebrate it. And nobody's doing that. And the people that are have a small niche following on Twitter.
Bro, this dude is just lying. Like, what did he drink this morning, bro? What are you on? What drug did you... He must be taking them pills LeBron was taking over there in the middle of that one game. This dude has lost his damn mind. Just all this lying. See, these people, this is why people don't like you guys. You guys are so used to lying. It doesn't make any sense.
3 years without my favorite.
I'm going to go ahead and end it there, man. And I got a part 2 coming for y'all. Appreciate y'all watching the channel, man. Like, comment, subscribe. I'm up out of here.